I'm not really an advocate for torture because I think it's a horrific thing that doesn't forward any meaningful anything. But there are a few fucking people who are on my short list of people who I would love to see tortured. Roosh V is number 1. Josh Duggar is number 2. Jim Bob Duggar is number fucking 3. And this is in no particular fucking order. I'm not saying, Roosh V is any worse than Josh Duggar or Jim Bob Duggar. They're all equally scumfuckery. They're just, they're all shitty fucking people. And now there's one more person, Dan A. Turner, who is the father of Brock Turner, who just recently got convicted of raping a woman behind a fucking dumpster, and who got 6 months in jail, probation after that, and being a sexual predator from here until fucking Kingdom Come. So this situation already has a lot of little fires going on, in this situation. His father decides to throw fucking napalm on the situation. Because he wrote a fucking letter to the judge that I'm going to be reading in this video. And I saw excerpts on the BBC, HuffPo, fucking the Daily Mail even has talked about this shit. But they've only had excerpts. I'm going to read the entire fucking thing because God knows the excerpts are bad. I want to know what the fuck is in the in-between. So, I'll leave a link to it if you want to go read this shit for yourself, but let's get to it. Honorable Judge Aaron Persky, I am writing this letter to tell you about my son Brock and the person that I know he is. Obviously, you didn't know him fucking very well because he ended up raping a motherfucker behind a dumpster. First of all, let me say that Brock is absolutely devastated by the events of January 17th and 18th, 2015. If that were true, he would have pled guilty and spent the rest of his fucking life in prison, but he's not. So I don't think he's broken up that much, and he's nowhere near as devastated as the woman who he raped behind a fucking dumpster in an alley. So, cry me a fucking river, this cocksucker should spend the rest of his fucking natural life in fucking prison, getting ass fucked by people in prison. Because generally rapists and sexual offenders not seen it in too good a light in fucking prison, and I hope to God he goes to the bad fucking prison. He would do anything to turn back the hands of time and have that night to do over again. And yet it would have been so easy not to rape someone behind a fucking dumpster in an alley in some shitty fucking town. It's not like rape is the default on fucking position for most people. And presumably from this fucking, glowing letter that you're writing, the default position for him wasn't rape. But he still fucking raped this woman. So, cry me a fucking river, sunshine. In many one-on-one conversations with Brock since that day, I can tell you that he is truly sorry for what occurred that night and for all the pain and suffering that it has caused for all of those involved and impacted by that night. And again, it would have been so simple for him not to fucking do what he did, but he fucking did it anyway. He has expressed true remorse. I don't fucking believe that for a second. For his actions on that night. Again, I don't think that fucking is true at all. Because I think he's sad that he got caught. He's remorseful that he got caught. But for not what he did, because he didn't plead guilty to the fucking thing he did. And if you truly were remorseful, he would have not pled a deal. He would have said, put me in jail for as fucking long as you think is fit because I fucking transgressed another fucking human being's, human rights. Throw me in fucking jail for 20 fucking years. Teach me a fucking lesson. But he didn't do that. Living under that same roof with Brock since this incident, I can tell you firsthand this devastating impact that it has had on my son. Again, nowhere near the impact that it had on the woman who he fucking sexually assaulted. So go fuck yourself, sir. Before I elaborate more, I'd like to share some memories of my son that demonstrate the quality of his character. Which, led to him raping a motherfucker behind a goddamn dumpster. Brock has an easygoing personality that endears him to almost everyone he meets. Not anymore, motherfucker. Not anymore. He's always been a person that people like to be around, whether they are male or female. Not anymore, motherfucker. This has been true from the time Brock was in preschool to today. I have never seen Brock raise his voice to anyone, and he doesn't prejudge anyone. Don't believe that for a fucking second. And you don't have to raise your voice to be a scumfuck. Generally, people who rape motherfuckers don't raise their voice, because they're sneaky pieces of shit. And raising your voice doesn't necessarily mean that you're a piece of shit. Because I fucking yell my goddamn, I bring my voice a few fucking octaves higher. Doesn't mean I'm a shitty fucking person, because I'm pointing at people like you, motherfucker. He accepts them for who they are, no more, no less. He has a very gentle and quiet nature and a smile that is truly welcoming to those around him. As if that fucking matters now, given that he had two witnesses witness him fucking rape a motherfucker. That goes out the fucking window. You know, I can't fucking... My brain is just... It's hard enough to keep my brain fucking cohesive. You want to know who was very gentle and quiet? The BTK killer, motherfucker. He was a nice fucking person. People thought he was a fucking nice person. Ended up he liked torturing motherfuckers and binding them and killing them. So fuck right off with this. He was an unassuming motherfucker, because that is a bullshit assumption to make. I never once heard him brag or boast about any accomplishment that he's ever achieved. Again, as if that makes him a decent fucking person. He is simply a very humble person who would rather hear about someone else's accomplishments rather than talk about his own. Especially when it comes to this shit, because he didn't want to bring it back. He didn't want to brag about this shit, did he? Brock has an inner strength and fortitude that is beyond anything I have ever seen. This was no doubt honed over many years of competitive swimming and has been a major reason for his ability to cope over the last 15 months. And I hope he fucking hangs himself. That's some real fucking talk. I want this motherfucker in his jail cell to make a fucking noose and to hang his scrawny fucking little neck. Because God knows he's not going to live this shit down, hopefully. I hope the rest of his fucking life is trials and tribulations. Brock has always been an extremely dedicated person, whether it was academic, sports, or developing and maintaining friendships and relationships. Especially when, he was raping a motherfucker behind a dumpster. Brock's dedication to academics started early in grade school. My fondest memory is of helping Brock prepare for his weekly spelling test. What you should have been doing is telling him that raping motherfuckers is bad. Because apparently, that's where he needed the most fucking help. Doing well on these tests was very important to Brock, and he would start preparing the day before by memorizing the words and making sure he had everything together in his mind. Except not the impulse not to rape motherfuckers. That was something that was absent from his fucking brain, because that's what led him to fucking raping a motherfucker last year. While this example may seem trivial, no shit, given that he raped the fucking person. It was an early indicator of the importance he placed academic achievement that never left him. As he got older and progressed in school, he needed my intervention less and less. Obviously fucking not. As he is gifted in his ability to understand very complicated subject matter. This natural ability, along with an extremely strong work ethic, led to academic success at all levels. Brock was equally talented in athletics, participating in baseball, basketball, and swimming. Should have had a class of not raping motherfuckers, because again, that was the fucking problem with him. I was his baseball and basketball coach and his Cub Scout den leader for many years during his grade school years. Which, presumably, again, you didn't tell him not to rape motherfuckers, because again, that was the thing that you needed to fucking tell him. Not how to tie a fucking knot. Although, I guess maybe the tying knots thing will come in handy when he's in prison hanging himself in his cell. I was so proud to participate and serve as his coach and leader as it meant that I got to spend more time with him. I was also a parent, chaperone for many school outings, and oftentimes was the only dad along on these field trips. Didn't fucking stop him from raping motherfuckers, did it? For me, I loved every minute of it because Brock was a pleasure to be around, and he always treated the other kids, parents, and teachers with respect. Up until the point he fucking didn't treat other people with fucking respect because he raped a motherfucker. I will cherish the memories of those years forever. Again, I hope he fucking hangs himself in his cell. And I know that might be a little bit mean, but I don't give a shit. Fuck him. He's a rapist. He doesn't deserve my sympathy. He doesn't deserve my fucking respect. And he's beneath my fucking contempt. And in fact, if he does fucking hang himself, I'll throw a fucking party. In the late summer before Brock's senior year in high school, he applied to Stanford with a dream of taking both his academic and athletic talents to the next level. Brock had a large amount of interest from many Division I coaches due to his swimming success and outstanding grades in school. I'm surprised he didn't get fucking drafted by Baylor. If you don't know what the fuck that's about, type in fucking Baylor rape, you'll fucking see what I'm talking about. Many college coaches pursued Brock based on the entire body of work that he represented. However, Stanford was always the apple of his eye and the ultimate prize for someone who had worked so hard for so long. Brock and I first visited Stanford in the summer of 2011 between his freshman and sophomore years in high school. Brock was there to compete in his first national level swim meet called the USA Junior Nationals, and too bad he didn't fucking drown. We were both totally in awe of the campus, the swimming facilities, and the rich history that the university represented. I remember commenting to Brock at the time that wouldn't this be a great place to go to school. It was incredible to think of the number of Olympic swimmers that had attended Stanford and how none of them were rapists. His first exposure to Stanford made a lasting impression on Brock. Our family was full of pride and joy when he found out in the fall of 2013 that Brock had been accepted to Stanford. This was a culminating event for Brock as we knew how much work he had put in to get to that point. The thing that made us most proud was the fact that Brock had to be accepted academically before he could be considered for an athletic scholarship. Didn't fucking mean he didn't rape a motherfucker, did it? This was especially significant given Stanford's 4% acceptance rate for that particular year. Brock was awarded a 60% swimming scholarship by the university. Should have fucking put a chastity belt on his cocksucker. Or presumably just chopped his dick off. Even with such a generous offer, my wife and I both knew it would be a financial struggle for our family for Brock to attend Stanford, but we were determined to make it work because we knew the value of a Stanford education. Again, it didn't fucking stop him from being a rapey piece of shit, but you know. I'm sure the fucking the lawyer's fees are going to be fucking brutal. And God knows I hope the fucking woman who he raped sues your shitty fucking asses for everything you fucking have. And ruins your entire fucking life. As Brock's senior year passed, he was characteristically humble about being admitted to Stanford and continued to work hard until the very last minute of high school on academics and swimming. When Carlene and I took Brock to Stanford in September 2014 to begin his freshman year, we both felt he was totally prepared for the experience, except that he fucking raped someone only a year later. Actually, less than a year later, now that I think about it. He had been to many national level swim camps and meets and was comfortable being away from home. We were very excited for Brock as he settled into Stanford during that first quarter as a brand new student athlete. He excelled in school that quarter, earning the top GPA for all freshmen on the swim team. But again, it didn't stop him from being a rapey piece of shit. He, again, with all of the rape he fucking committed, he should be at Baylor right fucking now. He excelled in school that quarter, when we didn't realize was the extent to which Brock was struggling being so far from home. Brock was working hard to adapt to the rigors of both school and swimming, and apparently that led him to rape a motherfucker. When Brock was home during Christmas break, he broke down and told us how much he was struggling to fit in socially, and the fact that he did not like being so far from home. Wah, wah, cry me a fucking river. That doesn't excuse the fact that he was a rapey piece of shit who should hang himself in fucking his prison cell. Brock Brock was nearly distraught, knowing that he had to return early from Christmas break from swimming training camp. Wah, wah. Go fuck yourselves. Brock was nearly distraught. I already read that. We even questioned whether it was the right move to send it back to Stanford for the winter quarter. In hindsight, it's clear that Brock was desperately trying to fit in at Stanford and fell into the culture of alcoholic consumption and partying. I can tell you from personal fucking experience, Shitstain, I've drank a lot. I've gotten blackout fucking drunk before. You know what I didn't do? Rape motherfuckers. This culture was modeled by many of the upperclassmen on the swim team and played a role in the events of January 17th and 18th, 2015. Looking back at Brock's brief experience at Stanford, I honestly don't believe it was the best fit for him. But he wanted to go though. He was ready academically and athletically, but it was simply too far from home for someone who was born and raised in the Midwest. He needed the support structure of being closer to family and friends. To not rape motherfuckers. What about all the other fucking people at that fucking school who came from farther fucking away than the fucking Midwest, and they didn't fucking rape cocksuckers. They didn't rape motherfuckers. So please, shut the fuck up with this bullshit, you cocksucking pieces of shit. As it stands now, Brock's life has been deeply altered forever by the events of January 17th and 18th. And you know why? 'Cause he raped a fucking woman, you shithead! He'll never be his happy-go-lucky self with that easygoing personality and welcoming smile. Yes, 'cause hopefully he feels guilt over the fact that he raped a fucking other human being. And again, I hope he fucking hangs himself in prison. His every waking minute is consumed with worry, anxiety, and fear and depression. Oh, poor rapist baby! Suck a fat fucking dick! Brock always enjoyed certain types of food and is a very good cook himself. You can see this in his face. The way he walks, his weakened voice, his lack of appetite. Oh, a poor baby! Boo fucking who? Couldn't handle the stress of being a fucking drunk rapist. Masturbate more to yourself, sunshine. I was always excited to buy him a big ribeye steak to grill or to get his favorite snack for him. I had to make sure to hide some of my favorite pretzels or chips because I knew they wouldn't be around long after Brock walked in from a long swim practice. So he has poor impulse control as well. That's good fucking to know. That's a warning behavior. Now he barely consumes any food and eats only to exist. Wah! Wah! Crying little bitch, you rapist! Wah! Go fuck yourself! Again, I hope he fucking hangs himself in jail. And his life is, if he doesn't do that, I hope the rest of his fucking life is awful. I hope the rest of his fucking life is a shit show from now until he fucking dies or commits suicide. These verdicts have broken and shattered him and our family in so many ways. Ooh, I'm pretty fucking sure it didn't break him as much as it did the fucking woman he raped. Go fuck yourself, you whiny cunt and shithead. Go suck the tailpipe of your car. Go drink some ethylene glycol. You fucking cunts. Fuck it, go Jim Jones. Take out the entire goddamn family, because obviously you were failures as fucking parents. He's a failure as a fucking son, and you're all failures as human fucking beings. His life will never be the one that he dreamed about and worked so hard to achieve. Yeah, because he raped a fucking person. This is the sentence that the next one I'm going to read is the one that has gotten people so fucking pissed off. And it's the fucking sentence that made me want to read this shit stain. This is a steep price to pay for 20 minutes of action out of his 20 plus years of life. This is the whole fucking reason why I want to see this cocksucker hang himself in fucking prison. This is the whole impetus behind me wanting to see this whole family fucking explode upon itself. This is why I want to see this father get fucking tortured in Guantanamo fucking Bay. I want to see this guy disappear from the fucking world, come back to the world with humongous fucking scars and missing fucking limbs. This is why I fucking hate humanity. This is why I want to see this motherfucker's head on a fucking spike. Go good old Vlad the Impaler fucking style. And actually, let's go old-fashioned Vlad the fucking Impaler and stick his body on a fucking pike with a fucking goblet underneath his ass and drink his fucking blood and force him to watch me drink his fucking blood. The fact that he now has to register as a sexual offender for the rest of his life forever alters where he can live, visit, work, and how he will be able to interact with people and organizations. Yes, because he raped a person. He's obviously fucked because he fucked himself. To borrow a fucking phrase from the wrestling world. The woman who he raped didn't fuck Brock. Brock fucked Brock. Nobody put a gun to his head and made him rape this fucking woman. He did it of his own fucking volition. What I know as his father is that incarceration is not the appropriate punishment for Brock. And guess what? I hope he doesn't make it out of fucking prison. I hope in the 6 months he's in fucking prison he hangs himself, as I said at the beginning of this fucking thing. I hope he ties his bedsheet into a fucking noose, uses some of that Cub Scout fucking ingenuity, and kills him fucking self. Or I hope someone in fucking prison makes a big fucking shank and skewers this cocksucker like a fucking piece of beef. He has no prior criminal history and has never been violent to anyone, including his actions on the night of January 17th, 2015. Obviously, you have a different definition of what's violent than everybody else, you shit stain, and that's probably this is probably why he did what he fucking did. Is the fact that your fucking definition of, you want to talk about, I'd willingly go to jail for teaching you what's truly violent, motherfucker. I would fucking willingly go to jail for giving you an education on what's violent. And trust me, my brain goes to some fucking dark places. And if I could take them out on you, that'd be fucking great. Because you know what? I actually have control over myself. Brock can do so many positive things as a contributor to society and is totally committed to educating other college-age students about the dangers of alcohol consumption and sexual promiscuity. Motherfucker. Again, I'm older than your son. I've had more exposure to alcohol. I've not once, not a single fucking time when I've been shit-faced drunk, I've never attempted to physically assault someone. You know, I've never tried to rape someone. I've gotten into fights, but those fights were consensual. You know, I've fought with my fucking friends when we were all fucking drunk, but I've never raped a fucking person. I've never done something so fucking immoral. Because you know what? I'm a decent fucking person. For the most part. I am a piece of shit in a lot of fucking ways, but in that one way, I'm not a piece of shit. And God knows if I did do that shit while I was drunk, or while I was sober, or under some other influence, God knows I'd fucking kill myself or put a fucking knife through my neck. God, I've told friends if I ever do shit like this under any fucking influence, they have the right to kill me. God, if I ever fucking did this, I'd take this fucking multi-tool knife and jam it into my fucking throat and twist it, turning my fucking esophagus and windpipe into a piece of fucking spaghetti on a fork. Because I actually give a shit about not hurting other fucking people, and if I ever did hurt another fucking human being, I'd be distraught over it. By having people like Brock educate others on college campuses is how society can begin to break the cycle of binge drinking and its unfortunate results. Probation is the best answer for Brock in this situation and allows him to give back to society in a net positive way until or unless people who find out where he is beat the shit out of him, and I don't think the people who beat the shit out of him would get fucking prosecuted. God knows I want to curb stomp the shit out of that scrawny piece of shit. I want to put my fucking boot through his fucking skull. I want to put his fucking head on my goddamn wall like a fucking trophy. And it really does take a lot for me to fucking get this angry. It takes a lot for me to want to fucking punch someone's skull so fucking much that it becomes a bloody fucking smear on pavement. That I want to put my fucking boot through this cocksucker's face. You have to do some heinous shit for me to get to this fucking point. I don't have this kind of anger problem. I don't get angry with people this fucking easily. I get angry with myself for this. But other fucking people, you have to do some, again, heinous shit for me to want to fucking put my boot through your face and put a fucking knife in your throat and put a fucking machete up your ass. You have to do some heinous shit. And Brock and you are two such fucking people. Very respectfully, Dan A. Turner. Go die in a fire, sunshine. Go die in a fucking fire. Go die in your jail cell. Go die any way you fucking can. Just I fucking... I don't fucking know. Like, fucking... I'm done. I'm fucking done. Ta-ta.